What is going on YouTube? Kratos here, and I am back with another Archon Trilogy video. As many are aware, Archons are the sentient creations of Era that appear in one of the quests in Warframe. Not gonna say which one, so I don't get backlash for spoilers. Anyways, they took over and did a whole lot of bad things, but more importantly, the shards stuck in their neck is what we are after because they can be used on your Warframe, giving us additional offensive, defensive, and utility stats. This helps get our favorite Warframe closer to that min-max build we so forever dreamed of. So in this video, I will show you how to defeat Archon Boreal and acquire the blue shard.
Boreal is here. Strike fast, use cover, and do not let him heal.
Now after you get the Archon to half health, it will trigger the next phase. Head to the waypoint and defeat the 2 deacons that appear in order to gain access to the gate. There's no trick to defeating them. You just need to exterminate them however you find the easiest. In my case, I use my Kubahek and Epitaph combo. I used to use my melee weapon, but I find it faster to just use my primary and secondary weapons. In my previous video, I mentioned how my cold status from my Epitaph procs primary frostbite. This gives me extra multi-shot and critical damage to my Kubahek. Now you might ask, Kratos, what does a blue shard do? It gives bonus stats to your defense such as health, shield capacity, energy, and armor. So if you have a Warframe that you love to use, but find it a little squishy, then this shard is just the right thing to use. After you defeat the deacons, head through the gate to the next waypoint. This will trigger the final phase with Boreal. Be sure to have a plan when it comes to activating your abilities and buffs. Know which to proc first and the animation times as well. Boreal is really fickle when it comes to triggering his abilities and companions. I find it easier to use speed and momentum to get closer to him for the final shot before he has a chance to activate his abilities. Unfortunately, sometimes RNG isn't really nice and prevents you from getting close in a timely manner. Don't worry. Just wait until the next opportune moment to proc your abilities again, and get the gnarly final shot to defeat Boreal.
Boreal is down. Narmer's spine eyes have been torn out. Excellent work.
Let's talk about my builds real quickly. I use Revenant for his Mesmer skin that redirects damage and stuns any enemy that hits you with their weapon. It gives me a buffer while fighting Boreal if he activates his electric abilities. I use Energy Siphon to regenerate energy over time so I can keep casting my skins. I built Revenant for strength, duration, and efficiency, and my arcanes of choice are Primary Charger and Rage. I use the Kubahek as my primary weapon, built with critical chance and high multi-shot. I use Primary Frostbite for that additional critical damage and multi-shot. I find the Epitaph very efficient to proc cold status for Primary Frostbite with its quick radial bursts. I run the Stropha to break the canisters on the sentient companions in case Boreal summons them to the fight. Oh, don't forget to equip the Materite Skull for Void Strike and to use Sling Strength if necessary. Well, that's all for today. Be sure to leave a comment below on what builds you use to hunt, as well as any thoughts or ideas for making these builds better. To see future videos, be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoy the video, don't forget to click that like button. Your support is greatly appreciated. This is Kratos, signing off.